Alright, so huge clarification needed. Boarding school is not for kids who've done something wrong. Okay, I'm one of the nicest, most well-behaved vermin you'll ever meet. Also, vermin sounds like a German word. Just say it with the accent and you'll get what I mean. Boarding school exists for many different reasons. Number one, to help us build a steady and independent foundation for ourselves, so when we get out into the real world, we don't just, die. Number two, to help us develop the social skills in order to interact with other people, so when we go out into the real world, we don't just die, but of loneliness this time, which is apparently way worse. I guess regular school does do that, so in this case, I guess it's to help us develop the skills we need in order to tolerate the other annoying people that live with us, so when we do get roommates or the significant other living with us in the future, we don't become, psychopathic killers. But I guess just being in a family can do that to a person too. Does boarding school even have a point? Well, I don't know. That's not the topic of this video. No matter how bad boarding school may seem from the outside, it's not actually that bad. I love it here. I'm super grateful to both my parents for sending me here, and I feel like it's building my character and making me a more independent and all-around better person. All-around better person. Alright. Now I'm gonna debunk some common misconceptions about the whole boarding school idea. And if you felt dumb for thinking any of these were true, yeah, you should feel that way. You were pretty dumb. But do not panic, because after you watch this, you will no longer be as dumb as you were before you watch this. I feel like that is a given. Common misconception number one. It is an extremely strict and suffocating environment. Whilst this is true, 3% of the time, aren't day schools also strict? That was a rhetorical question. I know they're strict, especially the Nigerian ones. Oh boy, didn't do homework here? All you gotta do is say, "Sorry, Miss James," and bat your eyelashes to make your hideous face look a little bit more attractive. Or I didn't mean attractive to the teacher. That would be weird. I mean look kinda cute, so your punishment isn't as harsh. Like puppy dog eyes, but child adult eyes. Over there, the only thing that would be attractive to the teacher is that cane or a belt. Some teachers are nice. Do you want to know what the worst part of it all is? That's okay. There ain't no snitching. You don't gotta go back home and tell your parents Mr. Babatunde slapped you in school today, because guess what? Your ass gonna get beat at home too for getting beat in school, and God forgive your soul if you get caught sleeping in class. Nah, really, God forgive your soul, because the next thing you see will be the Lord. No cap. I will skip 200 days of homework and receive all the punishment gladly than get caught sleeping in class once. I never really did sleep in class. Okay, this is majorly off topic. Can you go back on topic? Also, nobody cares about your miserable younger childhood. What? My childhood was not miserable. So anyways, I cried every day after school, but in the long run, I think all that discipline made me a better person. Again, we don't care, bro. Wrap this up. Boarding schools aren't necessarily strict. It just all depends on which school you go to and the teachers, really. You happy now? Hello? Oh, you son of a... Common misconception number two. Common misconception number two. Only troubled kids go to boarding school. Makes sense. That explains a solid 30% of these crazy kids. But what about the remaining 60? See, we're all regular ass boring people who get B averages, ain't that good at sport, and to be honest, ain't terribly good looking either. We're like the working population, but for boarding school. That was the perfect analogy. When I was on Discord, we were talking about our favorite hentai book we like to read, and we were on the topic of schools. Everyone was chatting about how they had 7 girlfriends in 9th grade. I'm not actually American, but a majority of my audience would call year 10 9th grade, so I'll just go with it. Whilst none of their chat was relatable, somebody said, "Dude, Where do you live? I was in full-blown panic mode. I wasn't about to tell the stranger where I lived, but then again, he could unsubscribe. But like, what if he came to my room and stole my Blue Yeti? It is literally like my most prized possession. I type in United Kingdom and he says, are you in 7th grade? Which is your rate? I was a little offended. I don't think I sound like a 12-year-old, but okay. I shrug it off and type, oh no, I'm actually in the 10th grade and I go to boarding school. And his homeboy hits me with, ooh, what did you do to get sent there? What? Bro, are you crazy? I came here out of my own accord, sorta. This ain't some sort of prison, sorta. I was literally making Roblox videos last year. What kind of crazy crime would I commit except Roblox fraud? And I'm pretty sure you can't even get fined for that, let alone whole ass prison. Stop thinking juvenile kids are the only ones sent there. Making me feel bad. I mean, not you especially. You're one of the smart percentage of my audience. I just mean the stupid people. In reality, I'm grateful to both my parents for sending me here, and I already said this, didn't I? Alright, that's fine. No. Common misconception number 3. It is always a religious school. Whilst we do go to chapel twice a week, I wouldn't say it is a religious school. Some schools do not eat my words. Most boarding schools are a nice way to meet people from different backgrounds and enjoy different cultures, literally a room or two away from you. In my old school, the day when I was talking about, I only stuck with the black kids, you know. I try to make it feel necessary to be with the other black guys because guess what? I was black too. I still am. I don't know why I said was. It should never be like that, you know? Hey, what? Wasn't that school a Nigerian school? And so there weren't even any cultures to understand. There was no diversity. So of course you spend all your time with the black kids. Those were the only kids in the school. Now that I'm in boarding school, I would say it has really helped me, you know, understanding the different cultures, religion, and people. In a way, chapel does bring everybody closer though. Because if you ask anybody, absolutely anybody who stays here, what about your school do you hate the most? Trust me, it'll be maths. I mean, and chapel, but I'm very certain that nobody likes maths. Which brings me on to the topic of common misconception number 4. Parents only send unwanted kids here. For all I know, I mean, that could be true. But why go through all the effort of sending them to boarding school where you can just I don't know, disown them or put them up for adoption? I am really digging my own grave here. Basically, no, the unwanted kids are not sent here, or else I don't think I would be here. Alright, that's it. Hope you learned something from this. Probably not, as presuming this whole video was just me talking to myself for however many minutes this turned out to be. Not everything is the way the stereotypes in media puts it out to be. For example, boarding school is not a living hell for most of us. Anime is interesting and I wouldn't call it childish. And pineapple is a good pizza topping, especially with ham. If you have any ideas for a video, it doesn't even have to be a good one. That is literally how desperate I am. Just leave a comment below and tell me what you thought of this one as well. Yeah. At the end of the day, the choice is really yours where you end up spending your future education. Make sure you choose wisely, stay safe, and make friends. Not that I have any experience with those, but I hear they're very helpful when going through a tough time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out my Twitter for more channel updates with random retweets, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.